Hornets basketball is officially back. A couple of weeks ago, I bought this shirt, and ever since then, they have been a legit basketball team. Now, is that a coincidence? Probably, but I still wanted to share that. I still wanted to rep the Hornets. I'm not a Hornets fan or anything, but their basketball has been amazing. In the last 15 games, their offense has been #1 in the league. Their defense has been #5 in the league, and overall net rating, point differential, all that kind of stuff, they are the #1 team in the league. But the record's only 8-7, which is really, really good for the Hornets. One, because that is a playoff type of win percentage, but also because, and I'm not going to talk about the future of the Hornets too much in this video, because honestly, Hornets fans, you should just be happy and just watching good basketball and shouldn't be worried about the future that much. But going 8-7 is helping your draft stock. The most ideal situation in a tanking scenario is when you win games, you win them by a lot. And when you lose games, you lose them by a little bit. And right now, that's what they're doing. They're playing absolutely amazing. And I want to talk about it. Now, I do want to go ahead and thank you guys for the support of the last video. I think it has like 8,000, maybe even 9,000 views by now. I hit 700 subscribers, which I haven't hit like 600 subscribers, and it's probably been like a whole year since I got my last 100 subscribers then. So that's absolutely crazy. Thank you. I'm going to continue and try and upload, if not every day, then every other day. I did miss yesterday, but yeah, thanks for the support. But let's go ahead and talk about it. A couple weeks ago, randomly, the OKC Thunder were struggling a little bit playing the San Antonio Spurs. And they lost a couple games to the Spurs, and everyone thought, well, the Thunder are just kind of due to win every other game. And I guess the Spurs are the big weakness. And then the Hornets in Oklahoma City beat the Thunder by 30 and made their fans leave the game before the fourth quarter even started. And everyone was thinking, wow, the OKC Thunder suck. I can't believe they let the Hornets do this. They let the Hornets look really good against them. And ever since then, the Hornets have been amazing. Lamelo Ball has actually taken some leadership and has not been his same shot-chucking self. Now, I'm not going to say Lamelo Ball his whole career has been a shot-chucker, but he's kind of played like that at times. And a couple of these games over the last month, he has come off the bench because of a minute restriction and injury issues, but he has been just way more humble, in my opinion, and more willing to just make an extra pass versus trying to make the big play. It really is just unfortunate that you would think with the Hornets winning so much, Lamelo Ball would be the guy hyped up a bunch, and instead, the only thing that you can find on social media about Lamelo Ball right now is him and Musa Diabate apparently flirting, apparently being gay. It's such a weird discourse. Now, does it look a little fruity in the video? Yeah, but like the Hornets are on fire, and that's what we're talking about. It's just so lame. But the player that I wanted to talk about most in this video is Brandon Miller, because I've been a guy who's always been lower on Brandon Miller. I always thought Scoot Henderson was better in his rookie season. I thought he was a shot chucker. The season after that, I also thought he was a shot chucker. He didn't shoot very well. I thought he wasn't that good of a defender. I thought he wasn't that good of a playmaker. And these last 15 games alone have convinced me that he can be an all-star next year, and that he can be not a superstar, not you know, a 1A kind of guy on a championship team, but just a really, really good player who's going to be an all-star for a long time. I mean, his handles, he's clearly learned something from Lamelo Ball if you've watched him play recently. I mean, he is looking like the Paul George prototype that he was supposed to be coming out of the draft. Over the last like 7 games, he's averaged 25 points per game on 50, 40, 96, which is insane. Overall for the season, I think his shooting isn't great because he had a really bad first 15 games, but with the big injury and a small sample size, that's not a crazy thing. But yeah, over the last 15 games, he has averaged like 23 points per game, and it's been over 48, 38, just really good splits overall. I've seen a development in his passing and how he's able to hit the rolling big and the open shooter a lot more. He's been showing a lot more effort on defense. He's been kind of doing everything, and he's the big reason that the Hornets have been so good. I mean, look at this stat. The Hornets are 15-14 with Miller in the lineup this season. They are 3-14 without him. Now, some of those, part of that can be, kind of a coincidence, maybe even like they're playing easier teams with him. But also like this last stretch that the Hornets have been winning, that they went 7-6 or 8-7 or whatever it was, they've been playing some really good teams. And this is a video where I want to hype up the Hornets, and I don't want to put them against each other and be like, oh, who's the best player? But Brandon Miller is the guy on this team, at least to me, at least so far this season, at least in the last 15 games, and I think going forward. And then you can't talk about the Hornets without talking about Kon Knuppel. By far and away the second guy in Rookie of the Year. I don't think he'll win Rookie of the Year, but he'll be easily second. I thought that he would be someone who maybe developed into this kind of player like 5 years down the line. And like his rookie season, he'd just kind of be a shooter. Even though I knew, coming out of college, he'd do more than that eventually. But at 20 years old, he is killing it. Fastest player in NBA history to reach 150 career threes. And he's only going to break more and more records with his age, with how good he is at shooting, with how efficient he is. He's also someone who's just making the right play, is playing just enough defense where he doesn't have to be the guy guarding the best player on the opposing team, but he's going to do his part. His playmaking has been great. His drives have been great, everything like that. And then you have Miles Bridges, where morally, obviously you want him off the team, but his play on the court, I think he made like an Instagram post. Here's the post. Miles Bridges since posting this IG story, 26 points per game, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 59% shooting from the floor, 50% from three. And then since that January 9th tweet, he has been only averaging 13 points per game, but that's all the Hornets are asking of him. With everyone else playing really good. And his splits were still insane. 48% from the field, which would be a career high, and then 38% from three, which would be a career high. This starting lineup with either Ryan Kalkbrenner or Musa Diabate, the lineups have been insane. Like that starting lineup is doing really good, and they are the reason that they are winning games. But their bench has also been pretty good. Grant Williams just came back, and he's been not shooting the best, but he's doing the small things that you want from someone who's just part of the supporting guys, playing defense, getting rebounds. Colin Sexton is not a veteran. He's 27 years old, but he kind of has that veteran like experience on this team because I'm pretty sure there's only like 2 players on the roster that are older than 27. And the guys who are 27 are Colin Sexton, are Grant Williams. They are kind of being the vets of this team that are getting minutes, and they've been good. Sion James has overall struggled scoring the ball, but he's been an elite on-ball defender and really clamped up Shea in that Thunder game. And then Josh Green's kind of been doing his thing. Like I said, the centers, Diabate, Kalkbrenner, they're getting a bunch of rebounds. So they're just shooting super efficiently. I think Diabate for the season is like 64%, and then Kalkbrenner is like 70% from the field. So when they get near the rim, they're not missing. And then someone I want to talk about, because I thought that there was no reason for him ever to go this high in the draft, and I thought he would be a bust and he wouldn't do anything. I'm just being honest. It's Tijon Salon. He's been amazing this season. He has been showing that he can not only hit the open three-pointer, which is what you want, he can not only defend, even though I'm going to pull up a clip of the worst fast break defensive possession I've ever seen. Like when I saw this clip, I thought that the Hornets would forever be garbage, but that's not the case. But overall, he's been solid defensively, solid getting rebounds. But overall, when he is driving to the lane, he has some of the most creative finishes you'll see from a guy who's 20, 21 years old and apparently not good. So you really hope that he can develop even more next season and be like a sixth man kind of guy. And then overall, the Hornets already have the same amount of wins in 82 games last season than they do this season in 47 games. Last season, they ended with 19 wins and 63 losses, and this season, 19 wins already with only 28 losses. Charles Lee is going to double his win count from last season, and we're going to call this Hornets season a victory. Now, will they get the highest draft pick ever? Probably not. And will they make the play-in? They actually can. I do see a realistic path where somehow the Bulls fall off and the Bucks still aren't good because of the whole Giannis injury and the Hornets jump them. But would I bet on them making the play-in? Probably not. But this team is exciting. They're fun. Their future looks bright, even though I don't want to talk about their future that much. And when you face the Hornets, you now have to think, wow, we could legitimately lose this game versus in previous seasons, you always think it's an easy win. Now, as a Hawks fan, I will say, wearing the Hornets shirt, the Hawks have always struggled against the Hornets, so I've never thought this way. But I feel like most teams, I've always thought of the Hornets as an easy win. And I'm not expecting NBA fans to already convert themselves to think that the Hornets are some sort of contender. Don't. It's going to take some getting used to. They've been bad for the last 2 decades. Sorry, I know it's a lot of Hornets fans who are going to watch this video, but you've been poverty the last 2 decades. So you got to give some NBA fans a little bit of slack. They're going to call you garbage. Charles Barkley, I know, just gave credit last night to the Hornets, but before that was saying, why would you even watch a Hornets-Wizards game, which, while it is one of the worst games to watch, I would still go if I had a free ticket. But you're going to have national media and reporters and even just regular NBA personalities disrespect you because you're the Hornets. But eventually, hopefully Charles Lee turns this around. Hopefully Lamelo Ball turns this around. Brandon Miller, everyone turns this around. And we think of the Hornets not as the bottom of the barrel, but there's still like 35 games left in the season to prove. We can't just go off this small 15-game stretch. I'm believing in Brandon Miller from these 15 games, but there's no guarantee. There's honestly no reason for me to believe it because if you look at his season averages, they're like mid. They're not good season averages because of how bad he was in those first 15 games. So I'm just hoping for the Hornets' sake that this stretch is real. Now, as a Hawks fan who's in the Eastern Conference, selfishly, I hope it's fake. I hope that Brandon Miller sucks, LaMelo sucks, but they win enough games where they don't get a top pick. But yeah, overall, super excited for this team. Let me know what kind of video I should make next. If you like this video, like the video, and then subscribe, because if I get it 1,000 subscribers by, I think it'd be crazy if I hit it by like March. That's about like 6 weeks. Like I said, thanks for the love for the videos in the last couple of days. All I do is talk to my camera and I do a little bit of editing, but besides that, it's really nothing. So that really just goes to show that you guys actually listen to me and care about what I have to say. So thank you. Peace out.